Hey guys, what's up? I know it's like 12:30 right now. I should be going to bed. Tomorrow's a school night. So, no, not tomorrow. Today's a school night. Um, but I wanted to do something. Since I can't fall asleep, I was going to learn something. And that thing is Blender. So, we're going to be watching a tutorial. And since I have Blender installed and I have not used it for many years, I'm going to finally learn about it. So, yay! So anyways, I'm just gonna tinker around with shit. I have no idea what the fuck we're doing. I don't know what this is. What am I looking at? Hold on. Um. What? That? What is that? That looks like a vagina. Um. I kind of want to do something. Hold on. Why is it not working? I'm clicking on it. It's not doing shit. What am I doing wrong? If I go to texture pack, maybe we can do something here. Um. Explode. Okay, no. I want to get rid of that. I don't want that. Fuck that. I just got a good idea. What if you made Guy Owl? That's what I want to do. No. Why can I not drag it? Or can I? Oh my god. Okay. Um. What? Hold on. I don't know what that did. What did that do? Just. I did not mean to do this. I don't mean to do that. What is that? What? I'm gonna delete the cube. No. I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. I don't know how to delete that. I think we need to watch the tutorial.
We just drag over those and click delete on our keyboard because we don't really need any of them. I guess we should keep a cube, so just Shift A, mesh, and cube. Now, to get into modeling or
The fuck? Witchcraft. Yeah, I downloaded the Chica model, but I couldn't use it, so
really using Blender
I
at
gave
all,
up.
let's start with the super duper basics. There are 2 modes. You can find them right here. There's actually like a bunch of modes, but like we're going to talk about 2 of them today because all of this is just, yeah. Edit mode, object mode, guys. You can switch them right here, or you can press tab on your keyboard. Now, object mode is the default mode you will be in when you open up Blender.
I'm sorry, what?
Or really using Blender at all, let's start with the super duper basics. There are 2 modes. You can find them right here. There's actually like a bunch of modes, but like we're going to talk about 2 of them today because all of this is just, yeah. Edit mode, object mode, guys. You can switch them right here, or you can press tab on your keyboard. Now, object mode is the default mode you will be in when you open up Blender. Object mode, in a nutshell, is exactly what it's called. If we press Shift D to duplicate, we now have 2 objects. However, if we did this...
Why is it not control? Can I change my keybinds, or do I just have to suck it up, Buttercup?
Same thing in edit mode and did Shift D to duplicate. We have 2 objects, yes, but they are 1 object in, like, the grand scheme of things. That might be a little bit confusing at first, but basically you can select 1 at a time here in edit mode, but in object mode, since we made them in edit mode, it will be 1 object. Sorry if that was a bit confusing. Let's move on.
No.
There's a few things you can do in object mode. You can scale whatever you have. We're going to use this cube just to keep things simple. And your keybind is S to scale. Now, the further you move your mouse away, the bigger your object is going to get. And the further you move it into this center point, the smaller your object is going to get. We also have axes in Blender. Right up here, Z, Y, and X. So if we press S to scale, and then we press X, it's only going to scale on this axis. Keybinds are 90% of the battle in Blender, so
why would I do that, though? Why would I want to do that, though? I can just... I don't know how to delete, though. Oh, I guess that's how. Wait. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Delete. But I did it. Hold on. Yeah, we did it. Okay.
You get those down, you're gonna be good to go. Let's hop over to edit mode because that is where most of the magic happens. So to get started here in edit mode, there are 3 selection types.
Okay.
We have vertices, edges, and faces. You'll find all of those right here. A face is where all your edges or what all your edges are connected with. This is a face, the surface of your object. And once again, S to scale. Vertices are where edges connect to each other, so these little dots. And then edges are what connects vertices together. Pretty simple, especially if you've ever taken a math class. Let's learn how to spawn in an object. Now, selection modes are amazing, of course, but what do we do with them? There's a few things. To manipulate an object...
This is literally Roblox Studio with extra steps.
Yep, we're just gonna grab this line. Once again, you can grab anything you want, whether that's a vertice, an edge, or a face, but we're gonna grab this edge here. And if we press G, we can just move it freely. And the same thing that we did earlier for scale works with G. G is also grab. So if we did G and then X, it's only gonna move on the X axis. Same with scale. We can scale just this line instead of the whole object. And E to extrude. We'll get more into those keybinds in a bit, but keybinds. We're gonna start with E to extrude, just pulling. This is... Now, quick note on bevels, if you do something in object mode, for example, scale, to do a video going just over those. Another keybind...
Okay, I don't... Alright. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There, we did it. We did it. Now, what do we do? White. White. Why is it not whiting? Okay.
This is an update of my text painting quick start guide for 2.93, which is currently the same for 3.0. It's for beginners but not complete beginners, so make sure you understand some of the interface before taking this on. Do check out my website for more great content and the playlist on this channel, especially the texture painting playlist with lots of great tips. I'll also be posting on there how to solve your texture painting problems in case you get stuck. My screencast keys will be down the right hand side here, and we'll start with this hammer model here. If I go into edit mode, you can see the topology is nice and simple, and you can be nice and basic when you're texture painting objects. This technique will work for any model, but be aware if you've got my screencast keys will be down the right hand side here. And we'll start.
I don't see it. Liar.
With this hammer model here. If I go into edit mode, you can see the topology, it's nice and simple, and you can be nice and basic when you're texture painting objects. This technique will work for any model, but be aware if you've got a really high poly model, it may struggle. If you want to follow along, you can download the hammer in the description. The first thing we need to do with any model is to unwrap it. Press the tell Blender where to put the 2D texture that we're going to paint on onto the 3D model. So we go to the UV editing workspace just here at the top. That brings up the UV image editor window and the 3D window over here.
UV? What does ultraviolet have to do with this?
Image editor, that window and the 3D window over space just here at the top. That brings up the UV image editor window and the 3D window over here. We're also into edit mode if you weren't already. I've got all my objects selected. If you haven't, press A to select all, and then U to unwrap.
The fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Look, bro, I'm trying my very hardest. Alright, bro. Yeah, I don't get it, bro. What? No. Have to be an object mode. That's. Okay, I still don't see it. I don't. Wait, maybe I'm missing something.
Wrap your model. And we're going to use Smart A to select into edit mode.
It's gotta be in edit mode.
If you weren't already. I've got all my objects selected. If you haven't, press A to select all. And
oh, I have to press A. Okay.
And we're going to use Smart UV Project. It's nice and quick and automatic.
Okay. Is that already done?
Click on that. What you will need to increase is the island margin, and I'll explain more about that in a second. Put it up to 0.05.
What? There. Did I do it? I don't know what I did. What? Why is it doing this? I don't know. What the fuck? Alright, bro. How do I don't... Fine. You know what? That's cool, bro. That's really cool.
And press OK. So if we look at
What?
here, the island margin is the space in between what are called these islands, and that's the way it's split up the mesh.
Alright, man. So basically, it's like that, right?
The reason you want some space in between is in case you want to reduce the texture size to put it into a game, for example. You might get a bit of overlap between the two. Look pink to start off with. That's because it's got no textures as you're painting over here, and it may look pink.
Okay. Right now. Draw. Fuck. Alright.
To start off with, that's because it's got no textures as you can see on the
No
side
textures.
here. So we give it a texture by pressing a plus sign here and base color.
Of course we do. What was the key button?
Color. I'll call this plus sign here and
Plus. Oh. Base color. Holy shit. I fucking did it. Look at me. Look at me now. Look at this shit. I'm so fucking cool.
and base color. I'll call this hammer color 2 because I've done this before. And width, I'm going to the base color. I can change that to, let's say, a mid. We can't actually see our texture over here. You have to go to the drop down here. You've got this. Once you finish your painting, you will want to make sure that you go up to Image, Save As, and save your image.
Wait, what?
Because the image is saved, Save As, and save your image.
Image. Save as. Save as image. There we go.
Because the image is saved separately to the Blender file. So that was a quick start guide to texture painting.
Cool. Alright, now. Alright. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on a second. Alright. This right here is Gael. This is the character I want to make. He has spiky hair, yes, spiky hair. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Basically, he's like this. And this is gonna be the hair, and this is gonna be the body. I think it is. So, yeah. Uh-oh. What? Alright. Shit. I knocked over my mic. It's not good. So, I need to sculpt the hair.
In this Blender tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get started with sculpting in Blender. So if you've never sculpted in Blender before, or maybe you've sculpted a little bit, but you kind of need to know kind of the basic things to get started.
You use a drawing tablet for 3D models? I have a tablet actually. It's up, but I use it for my Xbox as a monitor. So, sorry, it's occupied.
I'm going to show you all the basic stuff.
I actually have that glove. I cannot show you that glove because I don't know where it is.
And all the tools that I use to do sculpting in Blender. Now you can see above me, I have this camera right here that you can see on the screen. And I have this here because I wanted to show you my setup, because I think the setup is really important to being able to sculpt efficiently and sculpt well. And it's also important like where your keyboard is, because you're going to be using your keyboard for shortcut keys. Strips, and this is the brush that I use the most. So this one basically just adds layers of clay, easy to navigate, just like if you were navigators of clay. That right here, you can see the direction. If you're right-handed, you're probably going to be sculpting better with your right hand. And if you're going to do that, you're probably going to want your keyboard to use the Control and Shift key on the other side, so that you can definitely play around with all these different brushes. So if you click right here, you can click and drag out. If you pull it out once, then it'll just have 2 rows of brushes. This is how I like it, because I don't really use very many of the
sculpting. so basically, I do it like that. Alright.
Brushes down here. I mostly use the brushes up here. And if you pull it out even more, you can see it then has the names of the brushes. I just bumped the microphone. So it has the names of the brushes if you pull it out even more, but I already know the names of the brushes, so I don't really need this. Let me just show you really quick how to navigate in the 3D scene when you're using your drawing tablet. Now, it's really going to depend on what...
How bold of you to assume that people have drawing tablets. I mean, I got one, but it took me like years to get one, so...
But most pens should have a front and back button, and these buttons, if I like rotate around, something, rotate the view. Now you can't really see it rotating because we're in the very center, but if I like just draw something, now you can see...
Okay, bro. Alright, man. Look. How come it doesn't work for me? It doesn't work for me, huh? Care to explain that? Care to explain that? No, you don't. Wait. I hate this. I don't like doing this. I want to give up.
Rotating around.
Oh, wait. Good versus bad character design.
So, what makes a character design good?
I think this will be interesting because I have characters. Oh no. I have a couple of characters. You might know them. Here's one of them. Y'all know Ganessa, right? The lipstick dude. Right here. She's really cool. I really like her character design. So, yeah.
This design took more time, so it's good, and this is a simple design, so it's bad. Right?
No.
Well, the answer is it's up to you. Character design is a subjective topic, meaning that it varies wildly from person to person or story to story.
Here at BAM, we would argue that good character design is about clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity of silhouette, clarity of palette, and clarity of exaggeration.
A character design that's clear in these three principles will be recognizable in any art style.
Right. Homer Simpson is actually a really good example. Nice. Shout out to BAM Animations or BAM Animations because they did the AMP
like supporting
thing.
That sort of thing. Check out our Patreon linked below.
Let's start this off by creating an inherently bad.
You know, I really like these types of videos, the kind of genre. He helps you get better at art, helps you do a lot of things.
Add character design. We'll begin with a messy silhouette, a confusing palette, and a bland generic everything else.
Wow, that stinks. Let's go ahead and completely cover this design in detail. That'll make it a nightmare to redraw again. And can you imagine those overseas animators actually trying to animate this?
Let's make sure all of these shapes have tangents too. No sense of 3D space whatsoever. And as a final touch, I'm never going to...
Holy shit. Yeah, see, that's the thing, though, right? That looks like... Okay.
Flip the canvas while I draw. So everything will lean awkwardly to one side. Perfect. All of these conflicting elements will confuse the viewer. They'll get caught up in this visual traffic, and the story will disappear completely.
Good character design should be a seamless vehicle that drives the story forward.
See, I can't do that shit. That's why she looks like this. I went the easy route, okay? You can't make fun of me if I went the easy route. It's just a face. Okay, to draw Ganessa, lipstick, line, eyes, eyelashes. That's it. And also a face.
Everything about that character should be understood visually in 1 second or less.
Yeah. Like, you can just tell she is a good-spirited, happy-go-lucky person that's also kind of stupid, but she means well, which is exactly her character. I like that.
For these three fundamentals, and see if we
Fuck,
can
I
use
didn't
them
mean to do that.
to create clear, readable characters that aid the story instead of hinder it.
Wait, I just want to say, damn, your beard, honestly, is goated. It looks like, please, bro. I'm gonna look so stupid. I mean, in this, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. There's someone else. That's just the first thing that came to mind. That wasn't even the one I wanted. I wanted to compare it to somebody else, but that was the first one that came to mind. I can't think of the name.
When you strip down your character to just black, the rule is your
Bro, what are you doing with Jack's cat, bro?
must be recognizable from that alone.
Yeah, that's Mickey Mouse. That's Sailor Moon.
There isn't
South Park.
a single famous character that doesn't
Jack
follow
Skeleton.
this rule.
Powerpuff Girls. Shrek. Peppa Pig.
This submitted artwork is looking really good, but we can improve the design simply by examining the silhouette and separating some of these shapes.
Now that the shapes are clear in silhouette, they'll definitely be clear in full color.
All of the most iconic character designs have a silhouette that's made of big identifiable shapes. Big shapes are going to visually communicate the personality of the character using something called shape language.
Like, this is already giving you a sense of stability, trust, and stubbornness. And this shape here, friendly, bouncy, soft, welcoming, warm, and happy. And this shape has the sharpest corners of the three, implying things like edginess, danger, intensity, and speed. Even though this is a nice drawing, this artwork has a lot of conflicting shape ideas.
We can improve this design by making some of these shapes bigger and committing to the shape motif of a triangle.
When we choose a shape motif, it reduces clutter and emphasizes the things we want to emphasize.
I'm going to try and make every shape some type of triangle.
By committing to an angular shape language,
Holy shit, those are big lips.
which this character will read in
I mean, you kind of changed the art style, though. But, okay.
immediately as a dangerous femme fatale.
Yeah.
You might think that big identifiable shapes can only work in cartoony art styles. But you'd be surprised how many more realistic art styles follow the same rule. Usually it
I don't know who the fuck that
occurs in the
is.
form of big clothing, hair, or weapons.
Oh, it was because it was Batman. I don't know who that is. Alright.
Another way to improve silhouette clarity is to take the character's head and add a little weird shape that is unique to only them.
Like her eyelashes? Okay. Yeah.
This is a really useful design hack that helps identify them in a crowd and demonstrates the direction that they're facing.
Every character design works better.
I like how the eyelashes are the only thing that distinguishes Ganessa in a silhouette.
If you can recognize them from just the silhouette.
Hands look bad?
I don't-
Improve the silhouette. Poses whack? Improve the silhouette. Before you clean up your character, reduce it to just black and double check which shapes you can push to make it more iconic.
For clarity of palette, don't use too many colors. Be selective.
Choose a color hierarchy, meaning one color is the dominant one, and the other colors should support it without competing. This fan-submitted artwork has a lot of competing colors.
I mean,
This blue and this turquoise are both cool colors.
and
Without
then
line
there's
art,
yellow.
how can I tell where the ear ends and the dress begins?
If we were to turn the dress into a warmer color, it becomes the dominant color that complements the blue instead of competing with it.
But wait, color is more complicated than that. What about value?
On a new layer, fill the entire canvas white and set the layer style to color. This way you can toggle the layer on and off to double check its value, which is basically the brightness
Huh.
of any given color.
Now we can
Alright.
see what the real issue is. This design is unclear because all the values are very similar. Let's select some of these shapes and hit Ctrl U to adjust the value of them.
An even more precise tool would be the color balance menu under Command B. This allows you to adjust the color on a more
Okay, what the fuck? Is this Adobe?
fine-tuned.
Is this Adobe Animate? Alright.
If you have a background, check the colors against the environment. Don't just paint your characters on white. Characters rarely stand in a bright white room. If you don't have a background, do your design against a midtone. That way your lights and darks will actually stand off.
Wait a minute. Please tell me that's just a dress. Bro. See, the moral of the story is, if your character looks too bland, give them a fat fucking ass. Works every time, man.
In the original artwork, many of the values compete, and the character doesn't really stand off the background. By making the values of the objects in the distance lighter, we can establish atmospheric perspective. This will create more contrast between the foreground and the background. A value structure like this will make the foreground read.
Okay, that actually looks really good. I like that.
Character palette is similar to silhouette
That's Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach.
in that a well-designed palette
Smurfs.
is totally
The fuck?
recognizable
I don't
from
know.
rectangular
Bert and Ernie.
swatches alone.
Power Rangers. I can't tell. Family Guy. Scooby-Doo.
The combination of a good silhouette
South Park.
and a good palette equals
I don't know.
extremely recognizable
Simpsons.
character.
Winnie the Pooh. SpongeBob. Dexter's Laboratory. Teenage Mutant
The
Ninja
choices
Turtles.
of
Ronald
the color
McDonald.
palette are important as well. Certain colors evoke certain
It's
moods.
cool.
The color language is telling us a lot about these
This is secretly a trivia.
characters.
If I guess one of these wrongs, I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot.
For example, we associate yellow with joy and happiness. Green is going to give you a feeling of safety, while red might feel dangerous and sexy. However, color language is not as clear as shape language. Yellow might give you a really happy feeling, like sunshine, or a really sick and diseased feeling, like jaundice.
If you take a look at the globe, countries closer to the equator are going to have more colorful clothing and artwork. While countries closer to the poles will have more muted clothing and artwork. Color can act as a signifier of the environment that the character comes from. In other words, color tells a story. But
what does this tell? Shit. See, I'm kind of lacking that department.
How can I make that story more meaningful?
This is the hardest to explain, but it is the most powerful step of the character design process.
In a nutshell, your job as an artist is to interpret reality through the lens of being human. You're a human, and you make art for other humans. Therefore, you should aim to create something that connects emotionally to the viewer's core human instincts. The artist has the ability to strip down detail, push the proportions, and bump up the color to connect the viewer directly with the feeling that a character gives you. Which of these do you connect with more?
This one.
One is more realistic, but which one's emotion reads clearer? Designing characters with simple, easy-to-read features will allow us to see that character's emotion more easily. We have empathy for characters that we can project ourselves onto.
Yeah. That kind of what Ganessa does. She's indistinguishable. Or distinguishable. She's distinguishable from all the others. But she also has that sort of thing where you can just, you know, be her. She's not too she's not complicated. And I really like that.
And put ourselves into their shoes.
Scott McCloud calls this the masking effect.
A good character designer is a world-class observer. They pay attention to how a real person or animal makes them.
Holy shit. Nah, if you actually look like this, I am so sorry for you, bro.
Feel and focus in on the specific characteristics that amplify that feeling. And because an artist controls 100% of the screen space,
I would look more like Spike.
Every detail will strengthen the feeling that they want you to read. Which means animation can be more powerful than live action.
Pose is a form of exaggeration. Is your character feminine or masculine? Extroverted or introverted? Lazy or focused? A standard human body is capable of telling the story with pose alone.
When you design a character, don't just use the normal proportioned textbook anatomy for everybody.
Oh yeah, anime and comics do that all the time.
This design approach doesn't use the full range of possibilities that the medium of animation allows. There are so many different body types in the world. Take a look at this weightlifter versus this basketball player. Humans have the same core structure, but vary wildly from individual to individual. What kind of utility does their body have? A body is a reflection of the mind within. So observe, reflect, exaggerate that utility using shapes and pose. Let's exaggerate this submitted design by Joel.
We like this drawing because there's clearly a goofy interaction here. We just think the actual designs are a bit generic. And we want to keep the same poses and same art style, but exaggerate the body types to amplify the story more.
First of all, Joel, watch out for these tangents here. They flatten the drawing a lot. It's hard to tell that the demon is behind him. Now we're going to push the contrast more between these two characters. We're going to make this guy super thin, poised and intelligent, and this guy's super big, intimidating, and stupid. The contrast is going to aid the joke in the interaction.
Nice.
Characters' bodies are generally made of 3 major shapes, and the scale difference between those shapes
Yeah, bodies
is what makes the character design.
Here, I think a better example would be Ed. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm also kind of doing this just to see if my characters fall, like, past this category or whatever. If my character designs are good, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Appealing or not appealing. Notice the more dynamic spacing is more appealing. If your character design is starting to feel bland, draw these lines on your character.
Alright.
Group them in a more dynamic way, and redraw it.
That looks stupid. It's subjective, I know. Anyway, this is Ed right here. Small, scrawny, with a more cocky expression, signifying that he's kind of an asshole, but he can't really do anything about it because he's not that strong. He's more of a snarky jackass. He's the type of dude that would literally make fun of you for everything. He's the type of dude that would call you gay for literally every single thing that you do. You know?
These are like appeal rulers that you can always use to...
Yeah, just, okay, if your art sucks, change your art style.
Double check your design. Let's take a look at some of these designs submitted by Ege from Turkey.
We really like a lot of what's going on here. The designs are simple, and the artist actually designed on a lineup. Drawing on separate documents over a white void can lead to a lot of proportion issues when the characters are finally lined up together. When you design on the same document within a lineup, it allows you to compare the proportions and be more precise.
Great exercise when designing in a lineup is to create character trios. Using all the lessons we've learned so far, we can create a trio of characters that are drastically different from one another in silhouette, palette, shape motif, body variety, and pose. So the challenge is, even with all these differences, can they exist in the same universe?
It's pretty cool, man.
Lineups with...
First got a fucking RPG. Jesus Christ.
good variety will feel like a roller coaster. Bad lineups will be a boring train track.
Yeah. I mean, it's really based on the skill of the artist, you know what I mean?
So what's the best way to exaggerate your characters more effectively? Gather reference.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean just browsing through Pinterest. It means all of this.
Read books? Fuck that. You can't make me want to read books. go outside. No. As a streamer, I can't go outside.
Clarity of exaggeration comes from your understanding of story.
Anyways, I went swimming yesterday.
Having good reference is going to help you explore every possible idea to find the best possible way.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Every possible idea to find the best.
Imagine. Oh my god, bro. Imagine someone be like, "Hey, do you know, I'm kind of lost. Can you help? What the fuck are you drawing?" Like, there's absolutely no way. If someone catches you lacking, bro, you're gonna get banned from the zoo, bro.
Possible way to aid the story. So it's always worth your time. The best storytellers are the ones who actually have a story to tell. What really makes a good character designer? I've been working for years in the animation industry, and my honest answer is, I have no idea. What I can gather is that designs with clear silhouettes and recognizable palettes and some kind of exaggeration tend to last for a long time in our human zeitgeist. And the final ingredient to every design is story. What you're really doing is creating an actor. Professionally speaking, spending time trying to find your own unique drawing style isn't as good a goal as spending time learning to draw in different styles. Professional character designers change their art style constantly to best emphasize the meaning behind every project that they're working on. Shows like South Park would be bad if you delivered the same jokes and the same story in an overly rendered style. The show's writing is crude and silly, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and the style reflects that perfectly.
Yeah.
You might not like that style, but it's an
I'm sorry, bro.
example of extremely successful design. And vice versa, a story like Grave of the Fireflies could not be told in a style like South Park.
How's this not banned on
Personally,
YouTube?
I think the best design is like a Beatles song. It's a very simple melody, but the unique execution is what makes it shine. The song Blackbird is an exact amount of melody, harmony, and guitar. And the moment you add anything else, the song is ruined. The real trick to character design is to go with a simple idea, executed well. Simple designs encourage the animators to have fun. You don't want to bog them down with a bunch of patterns and pockets.
Now before you go, check out our friend's YouTube channel. Jupus is a freelance illustrator with a fantastic...
Let's look at the comments here. Why would your animated character be a realistic human who lives on a regular house? On a regular house? When he could be a yellow sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea. That's what my teacher once said to me. Yo. That's bars. Those are bars. Why would your animated character be a realistic human who lives in a regular house when he could be a fucking floating face who lives in a treehouse? Which would be this goober right here. I don't like that rework.
Which this character...
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think it's important to realize that this is a very stylized art style. The points are good, but you can bend them and take the ones that will help you with your own art style. You have to change. What? I'm speaking Chinese. You don't have to change your style to fit this video to take every point seriously. Also, some tips and tricks may not apply to you in your style. That's okay. Remember, these are tips, not you must do these things or else your art is terrible and your characters are terrible, etc., etc. Yeah, I had to put on an accent just so I can read that shit. Let's react to some of these. Flavor basing bland anime characters. Lavender Town is honestly a really good YouTuber.
August 18th through the 21st in Seattle. Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town.
Hi.
We'll discuss the ever-expanding army of carbon copy bland characters that we've seen popping up in
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you.
Now, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with a simple character design.
There's everything wrong with it.
Like they popped straight out of Danganronpa. For example, on paper, Komi from Komi Can't Communicate should be a very generic, basic character design, but she's recognizable because of the art style, particularly the interestingly triangular shape language on her bangs. Unlike these boys, because I feel like if you change their outfit, you would not be able to tell them apart. So I'm taking...
That's Kirito. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
3 of these very similar looking protagonists, and I'm going to try to redesign them based on details about their world and their story and personality, so that they all look different by the end. We're starting with Toya Mochizuki, who is the protagonist of the light novel and anime In Another World with My Smartphone.
That is the most obscure anime I've ever fucking seen. How'd you find this? How did you find that? Anyways.
Now, unfortunately for me, I had actually never seen a single episode of any of these shows that these characters were from.
Killed by lightning.
So what
damn,
I did
that's
with
tough.
All of these characters was I watched the first and last episode of the first season of the anime because I felt like that was the fastest way that I could get sort of a vibe check on the entire show. And I saw, where it started and where it ended, and boy, the shock between those 12 episodes was quite intense on almost all of these. The main things that stood out to me about Toya is, first of all, that he's very easygoing, he's very nice and altruistic,
That's
and
nice.
that was actually a pleasant aspect of his personality. It's also nice that he did have a personality. Now, he is this pretty stereotypical, nice, easygoing guy, but believe it or not, in this genre of anime, even having that much going for him seems like kind of a good thing. Because they're usually just very reacting to their world, and they don't have unusual reactions. They act as the audience would, whereas upon being told that he's been killed and will never be able to go back to his original world, he's just very calm, and he takes it in stride. And I feel like this anime is definitely a comedy approach to the isekai, trapped in another world genre. He literally has God on speed dial, and the only thing he asks for when he's given a final request is that he gets to keep his phone.
Wow.
So yeah,
that is crazy.
The thing is, he was killed by a stray bolt of lightning that God had been throwing around apparently, and it was a mistake. So the lightning bolt was actually my key entry point into how to make his character more interesting visually and more unique from the other boys in this trio. So I immediately knew I wanted to do this type of burn pattern that can happen when you're actually struck by lightning. Here's a picture of what it actually looks like.
Damn. Kind of looks like jellyfish stings, kind of. Hold on. Yeah, see? Something like that. You can kind of see what I was getting at. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, something like that,
I obviously made it quite a bit darker. I think it makes him look so cool. I'm one of those people who really loves characters with scars and any kind of imperfection or whatever. I feel like it makes them so much more interesting and memorable. I also try to lean into more of his accent color of gold. He has a tiny little bit of gold on his original design, and I read in the wiki, I didn't see this in the anime that I watched, that he gets gold eyes at some point in his celestial mode, so I decided to go with that and continue on with his sort of asymmetrical design by giving him heterochromia with a gold eye. And I did more singeing on his jacket. It's obviously fashionable singeing that's not realistic, but I think that it gives him that he's been burned by lightning kind of energy a bit more. And then I also gave him a necklace with 9 rings on it because well, the first episode started with him being apologized to by God and being given his smartphone in order to join a new world. The last episode is basically just all of the girl characters begging him to marry them.
like in every isekai ever. It wouldn't be an isekai without it.
And begging him for like affection, and they're like, I don't care if you marry all the other girls, you can marry all of us. And I looked it up on the wiki, and he does he has 9 wives by the end of it. Next up is one of the most famous protagonists of the isekai genre.
Yeah, Kirito.
It's Kirito from Sword Art Online. Most people, even people who aren't really into anime, have probably at least heard of Sword Art Online. And a lot of people think that it invented this genre, though it really didn't. I mean, you know, there's like manga and anime like Dot Hack and Log Horizon. There's been a lot of like concepts of like being inside a game and that kind of stuff, which is the concept of Sword Art Online. Right. The basic premise is that these characters join an online game where you're like in a very fancy VR kind of scenario, and
why is he making him emo?
It turns out that if you take off the VR headset while you're playing Sword Art Online without officially logging out, that'll like fry your brain and kill you. And if you die in the game, you die for real. So, you know, all these characters end up getting stuck inside this game because it turns out that this game is actually like part of an evil plot to control everybody in the game. And so Kirito has to beat the game before he will be allowed back into society, and then his love interest Asuna is still stuck there, so that is sort of like the premise of the first season. Kirito is often criticized in the anime community for being incredibly bland, and his character design, I would say, also kind of plays into that. I think that, like, if you just look at his head, he just looks incredibly generic. Like, it's actually kind of amazing how much he looks like so many other anime characters. And I think it's a lot to do with the hair, and I think it's also like a lot to do with his face. His outfit, I would say, is also like, it really reminds me too much of other like aesthetics from other things. Like, particularly, it kind of reminds me of the Organization 13 cloak from Kingdom Hearts, if that makes any sense. Like, the silver and black kind of reminds me of that. And I think it's interesting that, like, it's a big deal that he can hold 2 swords. That's a special ability he has. But when you see him, it usually looks like he only has one, just from, like, his silhouette, which I think is, like, kind of a waste. So because he's a relatively subdued character, and because it seems like the all-black thing is really important, I decided not to give him, like, a special pop of color or anything, and I tried to go with kind of more of, like, this very subdued...
Sorry, I was pouring water to a glass. Kind of thirsty.
Almost like a streetwear, techwear kind of look.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would be cool to, like, pull actually back detail away from him. Like, this is actually, like, an even simpler outfit, you know, it doesn't have all this, like, silver piping and everything. It's basically just, like, a black t-shirt and an open unzipped hoodie.
You just make Kirito an edgy 13-year-old.
Black jeans, and then the 2 crossing straps of the 2 like sword holsters that he has. And I tried to make his face look, I wanted him to look a little bit more depressed, a little more sickly. I gave him sort of like longer, greasier hair because it seems like he is like clinically depressed at the start of this show. Like his main thing is that he's an isolated gamer who like doesn't really feel good.
Relates to all of us.
So I wanted to give that impression in the character.
I wonder if I look like him.
This next one was a real challenge for me, and I don't know if I would have picked him initially if I had realized what kind of anime he was from. Like, low-key, I actually didn't have a hard time watching Another World with my cell phone or SAO that much, especially because I was just watching 2 episodes, but this one was a struggle to watch both the first and the last episodes for wildly different reasons, and I really don't like this character, though I do think that he's more, he has more that's noticeable about him than Kirito does, so that's beneficial, I guess. So his name is Sato Pendragon, and he's a character from the anime Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. And this anime is about Sato, who's a 29-year-old junior programmer and he basically is in crunch time at his programming job. He makes games. He goes to sleep under his desk, and when he wakes up, he is in another world, and the world he's in is the game that he was making. When he wakes up in another world, he looks like his 15-year-old self, which as far as I can tell, it doesn't have any purpose. Like, it's never relevant to the story that he's basically a 30-year-old in the body of a 15-year-old. I feel like they only did that for aesthetic purposes, so I'm going to age him back up, because personally I feel like him looking 15 is completely irrelevant to the actual, prompt of who this character is, and I feel like they only did that to make it seem less creepy that the characters he hangs out with for the rest of the series, their average age is 12, this anime is just very bizarre. There's a lot of him saving girl characters from being slaves, but the way he does it is by buying them, and then they still do stuff for him and call him master. So I'm like, did you save them or did you purchase them? Are you just participating in slavery? Anyway, one of the main things that I did other than age him up was I gave him a signature color, again, kind of like I was playing with Toya. I actually went way harder, and I also gave him this more retro style, RPG kind of look and outfit. This is mostly an homage to the characters in .hack, but just because I was looking up for research for this older isekai kind of concepts, or being trapped in a video game kind of concepts, and I just thought man, these retro designs are so charming and so fun, and I thought that it would be kind of interesting to see this scrubby work crunched 29-year-old in this cutesy retro sort of style of RPG outfit. I feel like that fits more with the weird implications of someone like him actually being in the game. So that about wraps it up. Here are my versions, and then back into their old version. I really like how they look with a little extra spice and a little extra story detail on them, but
money. It's quite nice, isn't it? You can do a hell of a lot of different things with it. You can put it in an offshore bank account to avoid paying taxes. You can invest in a Megalodon shark card in GTA Online. You can buy a bunch of different Funko Pops. Money, it really does make the world go round. And in current year, circa 2023 AD, one of the most sought after ways to make money is to become a niche internet micro-celebrity. Doing the funny and making the money online, this is the dream of millions of individuals all around the world. But for a select few, this dream, it isn't just some schizophrenic delusion. No, God no. It's reality. On this planet we call home, thousands of people upload countless hours of content every single day, making a massive bag in the process. Gaming videos, vlogs, animations, whatever this is. Thing is though, here's a how to generate a million billion Mr. Beast money-making tip for you person watching this video. If you're in the position to make some cash online on the internet, instead of putting, actual effort into your craft, cringe, All you have to do is endlessly pump out stuff like this.
We dare you to try not to cry while watching the saddest Roblox game ever made.
Today I open an evil Ban mystery box and try to find the new Chapter 3 plushie. No! I survived it quickly! You can become...
Wait.
A content farm. And in today's video, I'm gonna cringe. All you have to do is endlessly pump out stuff like this.
We dare you to try not to cry while watching the saddest Roblox game ever made.
Today I open an evil Ban mystery box and try to find the new Chapter 3 plushie. No! I survived it quickly! You can become a content farm. And in
This is absolutely terrifying. It's terrifying. I'm gonna put that as a meme.
In today's video, I'm gonna rank some of these content farms on how good they are at being content farms. My mental well-being is declining at a rapid rate. Subscribe, please, and join my Discord server. I'm begging you. But first, what is a content farm? In the world of Subway Surfers gameplays, skibbity toilet compilations, and content creation on YouTube, there are countless different types of, let's call them, approaches to making videos and quote-unquote optimizing your uploads. Some people upload a few times a week, some people upload a few times a month, some people make shorter videos, some people make longer videos. Every single one of us stinky, disgusting, allergic to touching grass YouTubers, we're all different. At the end of the day though, out of all of the different metrics, statistics, and quantitative values attributed to cracking the YouTube.com algorithm, there is one number that reigns supreme. Something that all of us YouTubers, we just can't get enough of it. Views. The more views you get, the more money you get. It's just that simple. It's a fact of life. So, as you can imagine, sure, okay, a video, it may not do well on its own, but if you upload
I like I was playing the Vsauce's music.
whole bunch of them, it should even out, right? Yeah. Well done, you're right. And it's from this idea of uploading more videos, prioritizing quantity over quality, that the horrible, disgusting concept of a content farm starts to take shape. As the name implies, a content farm is, it's exactly that, a farm of content. You know, content farm. It's a YouTube business that spams as many shitty trend-hopping uploads as they humanly can in order to maximize and farm views, leading to insane monetary gains and profit. Now, yeah, okay, sure, most of the time these types of channels exist within the cesspool known as the content for kids sphere of YouTube. But there are some that don't. The content farm, they aren't strictly a YouTube Kids thing, like it isn't solely YouTube Kids type beat. Nah, God no, they're a plague across this entire website. Oh, and by the way, if you think spamming shitty trend-hopping uploads means a new video every single day, bro, you got another thing coming. Sometimes these channels upload close to 20 to 30 videos per week. And now that you know what a content farm is, I'm going to take you on a tour straight into YouTube's past. You and me, we're going to go have a look at what I think is one of the oldest content farms on this entire website. The YouTube channel and content farm known as If you're up to date with the current YouTube lore and game theory, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure you know who Kwebbelkop is. He's this guy. You know, the YouTuber who turned himself into this abomination. And everybody hates it. I made a video on that a few weeks ago. I think you should go and watch it. But here's a fun fact for you person watching this video. Kwebbelkop, he's the reason why I'm making this video. He's the inspiration for it. You see, in my previous video all about Kwebbelkop, AI content, the rise of the machines, I said this. If anything, Kwebbelkop, he may be one of the earliest examples of a content farm. And ever since then, man, I can't get the phrase content farm out of my brain. I've tried. I really have, but it's still up there, like lingering, festering in my mind. In the deep dark hours of the night, when I try to go to sleep, I see him in the corner of my room. Back on track though, do you want to know why Kwebbelkop is the oldest example of a content farm that I can think of? It's because for 10 years straight, a decade, 3,650 days, Kwebbelkop uploaded a new video every single day. Every day he loaded up his recording software, turned on his mic and committed audio terrorism. No joke, this is insane. Like, imagine uploading a new video every single day for 10 years. 10 years! On the one hand, right, this hand,
holy shit,
the grind, but then on the other, what the fuck? Oh my god, recording a new video every single day. Do you know how much time that takes? You'd have no time to do anything else. No time to go outside and touch grass, or no time to watch a TV series, or literally anything. You wouldn't have any time to do anything else besides YouTube. All you would have time to do every single day is record and upload. That's it. And okay, yeah, sure, I get it. The quality of the video it's straight ass. Look at this shit. But the point still is that a new video every single day for 10 years. No wonder him and his YouTube career been falling out. Okay, like, look, yeah, I really love my friends. I really do. Oh, I can't even begin to imagine recording a new video with them every single day for 10 years. We start to hate each other. But moving past this, Kwebbelkop, he's always had this approach to YouTube that's prioritized quantity of video over quality of video. It's the reason why he's replaced himself with the sleep paralysis looking dystopian AI model on his newer videos in the first place. It's so he can just keep on pumping out AIDS videos like Escape the Fart Man Prison in Roblox endlessly forever. So
there's no way that's a real video. Oh god.
Where would I rank Kwebbelkop in my
A
content
or S?
hierarchy ranking thing?
S.
Okay, let me think here. He did upload a new video every single day for 10 years, and he has replaced himself with an AI rock. You know what? I'm going to put him right here. S tier. Kwebbelkop, he's an S tier content farm. And with that, I think it's time to move on to another YouTube content
Lankybox
farm. A content farm that we all know and absolutely hate. The content farm that goes by the name of...
Yep.
Out of all of the different YouTube... You've I've had the misfortune of watching over the years. Besides YouTubers who have groomed people, pedos, and actual criminals, obviously, LankyBox, they're by far, hands down, the YouTubers who I hate most. Because LankyBox, they're the prime example of everything wrong with YouTube in the year of our Lord 2023. Terrible kids content? Check. Screaming every single second? Check. Key jangling? Check. AIDS thumbnails? Check. Awful merch and other side projects? Check. But this video, it isn't solely about why I hate the LankyBox YouTube channel. I've already made a video on that. Nah, this video, it's about content farms. So let's rewind a bit. Remember all the way back in my Vsauce what is a content farm section of this video, remember how I said this? There are countless different types of, let's call them approaches to making videos and quote-unquote optimizing your uploads. I said that because LankyBox exists. LankyBox, pound for pound, they're one of the biggest content farms I've come across ever since I first started talking about content farms. And it's not like I'm one of the biggest content farms I've come across ever since I first optimizing your uploads. I said that because LankyBox exists. LankyBox, pound for pound, they're one of the biggest content farms I've come across ever since I first started talking about content farms. And it's not like I'm saying that without any evidence or anything. It's not a baseless claim. Far from it. To put that claim to the test and to actually see if LankyBox is as bad as I and thousands of other people think they are, a few months ago I decided to carry out a 2011-esque FouseyTube social experiment in which I subscribed to the LankyBox YouTube channel to see how much content they upload in 24 hours. The results? In 24 hours, LankyBox uploaded around 10 individual videos. And moving forward in time to current day, in the past week, excluding shorts, that's a whole other different beast. LankyBox has uploaded something like 32 different videos. 32 videos of shit like this.
Look at this squad, bro. It literally looks like the game. Like, it looks the same, bro. We got Foxy, Miraculous, Ladybug. Look at how awesome this looks. She said,
shut the fuck. And you wanna know what's worse? Ever since I carried out that social experiment, my YouTube home feed, it's still fucked! Like, it's still broken! Every single day, I'll open up YouTube and, oh, what's that? A brand new LankyBox YouTube short is in my home feed? I'm losing my mind! On top of killing my YouTube feed and uploading millions of videos every single second of every single day, though, LankyBox, they practice an approach to YouTube I like to call the Coombe method. Now, if you want to hear a long definition about what the Coombe method is, I really recommend watching this video. I go into quite a bit of detail, but here's the TLDR for you. Coombe stands for Capitalize, Optimize, Output, Money, and it refers to the way in which content farms see something that's trending, be it ban, FNAF, Skibbity Toilet. They'll then record a video involving this topic and handcraft it to be as attention-grabbing as ADHD as possible, filling it with screaming and sound effects every single second and all of that type of shit, after which they'll pump out as many videos like this as they can while the trend stays popular, letting them make all of the money. LankyBox, they love Coombe. Just look at this shit. But now it's time to rank LankyBox on my content farm. Just look at this shit. But now it's time to rank LankyBox on my content farm tier list. Here's the facts. LankyBox, their videos are handcrafted to exploit children for money. They pump out 20 to 30 videos a week. They killed my YouTube home feed. So, I think I'm gonna put them right here. They're an S+ tier content farm.
W-Mans.
It's the only praise I'm ever gonna give them. If you want to be a content farm on YouTube, don't. Like, please don't. But if you are set in your ways, become a LankyBox clone. This is how much money LankyBox has made in the past month. What the fuck? With all that being said though, I think it's time to move on to another content farm. A content farm that before making this video, I'd never heard of before. A content farm called... that before making this video, I'd never heard of before. The fuck? With all this is how much money LankyBox has made in the past month. What the fuck? With all that being said though, I think it's time to move on to another content farm. A content farm that before making this video, I'd never heard of before. A content farm called... Buggy Huggy. What the fuck is this? So, you know how back in the day, during the peak of GTA 5's popularity, a bunch of now washed up GTA YouTubers would lie and spread misinformation on the internet all about, oh, wow, I got GTA 6 early, look, here's my totally real disc, Rockstar. Yeah, Rockstar, they threw it through my window at 5:05 in the morning. Buggy Huggy, he's the next step in the evolution of this type of content. But instead of making fake videos about the GTA series, he makes fake videos about a game series that's actually near and dear to my heart, a franchise that I'm an official speedrunner for. Buggy Huggy, he makes fake videos about Garten of Banban. People lying on the internet? What? impossible. Moving all of my jokes to one side for a moment though, I've always hated when people make videos like these, like, oh wow, I got GTA 6 for free, look, brand new Garden of Banban video game. Like, bro, it's so painfully obvious what you're trying to do. You're just trying to exploit the stupidness of children. It's just so slimy. And look, I know that in the descriptions of these videos, Buggy Huggy, Buggy Huggy, stupid YouTube channel name, he does have a disclaimer about, oh, these videos are fan-made, look, it's made by fans, It's not an excuse, it's not a magical get-out-of-jail-free card. This disclaimer, it's not like it's in the blurb part of the description that you can see and read, letting people know straight away that these videos are fake. Nah, it's hidden at the bottom. No one has ever clicked show more on a description tab on YouTube in the entire history of human existence. People do not read YouTube video descriptions. And these videos, they're meant to trick children into believing that all of this Garden of Banban new gameplay shit is real because Garden of Banban is a stupid popular game series with children. It's exactly like the past. Time is a flat circle. And you know what? I won't even give Buggy Huggy the ego rub of calling him a good content farm. Because he isn't. The Buggy Huggy YouTube channel is absolute dog shit. C tier. And while we're talking about content farms that have got something to do with Huggy Wuggy, Garden of Banban, mascot horror, all of that type of stuff, I think it's time that I introduce you to the next content farm in this video. A content farm that some people on YouTube have called a part of the second coming of Elsagate. Kissy Missy pooped out her iPhone, Huggy Wuggy has a fart blaster, Kissy Missy distracts Huggy Wuggy for work? Yeah, when it comes to YouTube channels that I can confirm do indeed exist on YouTube, the Plush Universe YouTube channel, it definitely is one of the YouTube channels to ever exist. Plain and simple, the Plush Universe YouTube channel is a shorts YouTube channel that specializes
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Look, they shook their ass in my face all of a sudden, and I didn't know how to react. Kissy Missy got. Also, what the fuck are these?
Spamming really weird odd videos involving Huggy Wuggy, Kissy Missy, the Banban characters, and other things that are popular with kids. Now look, yeah, I know, trust me, I know that the word Elsagate is a buzzword that gets thrown around on YouTube a shit ton nowadays. Sometimes people call things Elsagate when they aren't even really Elsagate to begin with. I don't know, man, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do get big Spider-Man Elsa vibes on this channel. If you have no idea what a Spider-Man Elsa video is though, or what Elsagate is, get your notepad out, you're probably going to want to write this down for future reference. You see, a few years ago, within the world of kids content on YouTube, it became a trend to see a bunch of grown adults, grown people like me, dressing up as characters that were popular with kids, you know, like the Joker and Batman and Spider-Man and Elsa in their videos. Though these videos, they weren't very, let's call them wholesome. Nah. They were the exact opposite. In these videos, the people dressing up as these fictional characters would do shit like pooing on each other and getting pregnant and other stuff that I can't even really talk about in this video because if I did, this video would get nuked off the platform. It was really bad, and videos like these, they would fit right at home during the first round of Elsagate. Real talk here for a minute though, person watching this video. Imagine making videos like these and posting them onto the internet for the entire world to see. Like, don't you feel silly? Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel a little ashamed? Wait, hang on, Plush Universe made $1 million this month. Fuck, maybe I should start making stuff like this. Back on track though, Plush Universe, absolutely terrible content. This shit's awful. But ranking them as a content farm, I'm gonna put them here. A tier. And now that Plush Universe is out of the way, don't think we've suddenly spoken about all of the different content farms on the kids side of YouTube. God no, we're far from it. The thing is though, if I did speak about all of them, we'd be here for 1 million years. So I'm gonna rapid fire some that I can think of off the top of my head. To Minixa FNAF and Skibbity Toilet content farm who spams out a decent chunk of videos a day, A tier. Game Tunes, a really cringe, really awful YouTuber. A tier. FNAF and Skibbity Toilet content that I can think of off the top of my head.
Honestly,
due to Minixa FNAF and Skibbity Toilet content farm who spams out a decent chunk of videos a day, A tier. Game Tunes, a really cringe, really awful YouTuber, but he just doesn't upload enough to plant him in the realm of the content farm gods. D tier. Project Jamesify, B tier. Man, what I will say though is that the rise of short form content and YouTube shorts on YouTube is giving birth to a whole shit ton of different content farms on this website. And all of those content farms that I just spoke about, all of them spam YouTube shorts. So now I think it's time to move on from the kids YouTube section of this video, thank God, and on to the YouTube Shorts section of this video. First up, we got a content farm called... Let's talk about short form content here for a second, person watching this video. Short form content, you know, like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, it's fast food by nature. It lends itself perfectly to content farms. If you want to survive on the YouTube Shorts side of YouTube, you have to upload as many shitty, awful videos as you can, as quick as you can. Though, here's a word of YouTube Shorts advice for you, person watching this video. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. If you think you're gonna earn big and become some ultra giga, what are some other buzzwords I can throw in here? Sigma, Omega, top 1% matrixing, escaping, big spender thanks to YouTube Shorts. We create a number of views on screen, right? This would probably earn you $2.50. Congratulations. However, just because YouTube Shorts is oh my god, it's such a shit way to do YouTube. It hasn't stopped a whole bunch of different YouTubers from all across this website from spamming and uploading a whole bunch of shitty YouTube Shorts. Gaming news videos, stream highlights, and of course, memes. Enter the YouTuber called You See Me Fly, a Shorts YouTuber who specializes in pumping out videos like these. That's it. All he does is post a meme on screen and stares into your soul.
That can't be it. God, it is.
Guess what? The only effort that goes into these videos is putting the meme on screen. Other than that, it's just one big video template. He never changes his clothes. Like change your clothes and stop fucking staring at me. Don't get me wrong here though. Unlike people like Lankybox and Quebblecop, I don't hate the You See Me Fly YouTube channel. It's lazy and spammy and annoying and fast food, sure, but it's not like he's doing anything too crazy. I'm not a certified You See Me Fly hater. If anything, if you were to lock me in a room, pump me full of truth serum and demand to know which one of these two YouTube channels I'd marry marathon watch, I'd happily say You See Me Fly. And for that, I reckon that I'm gonna put You See Me Fly in the... I'm gonna put him here. B tier. YouTube shorts though, bro, oh my god, there's such a cheat code to getting big numbers in your sub count. Genuinely, you don't understand how many times I've gone onto my socials and I've seen some post that goes like, oh, look how many subscribers I got this month, 100 million billion. But then you click on their channel link in their bio, and they just spam YouTube shorts. Like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. Moving on from my copium session and memes on YouTube shorts though, do you want to know what else is big on YouTube in the year of our Lord 2023? Podcasts. So, what happens when a traditionally long form...
Oh my god. Have you seen, like, there's two people talk, like, yeah, this thing happened. Actually, and then they go back and forth. He'll probably mention it in this video, but when I know what I'm talking about, and I will call it out when he says it. I know he's going to talk about it. I know he's going to talk about it. I know he's going to talk about it, and I'm going to say, I called it. I told you so. All right, I am going to do that if he says it.
Style of video. What happens when it gets molded down into a YouTube short? Well, you get. My life is like a...
I called it. Bro, I fucking called it. I'm built different. Well, not really. I think everyone gets that, but... Dude, I see these motherfuckers everywhere.
As somebody who is a certified podcast enjoyer, every now and then I see a Built by Gamers YouTube short on my YouTube home feed or on my TikTok. The algorithm is always listening. So take it from me when I tell you that the Built by Gamers YouTube channel, it definitely is one of the weirdest YouTube channels I think I've ever seen in my 22 years of roaming this earth. Here's what you need to know. The Built by Gamers YouTube channel is a channel that spam uploads YouTube shorts about a whole bunch of different gaming related topics.
What about Boxy Boo? Well, Boxy Boo has one of the darkest stories of any horror game. Originally, it was created as a toy.
Thing is though, on the surface these videos look like they're coming straight from a podcast, you know, podcast clips type beat. So you may be wondering to yourself, okay, if these shorts look like podcast clips, well then of course they come from an actual podcast, right? Like look, we've got Shure SM7B studio recording mic. It must be a podcast, surely. Wrong. The Built by Gamers YouTube channel, it doesn't have a podcast, and this podcast format in their YouTube shorts, me when I lie on the internet. If I didn't enlighten you about this key factor of the Built by Gamers lore though, I'd be willing to bet all of my 2 shekels that after only watching like 1 or 2 of their videos, you'd probably just be able to work it out for yourself. Just listen to the way these two talk in their videos. Like, here, I'll play you an example.
This picture went viral around the time of FNAF 2. People started speculating that it was William or the purple animatronic, but we now know that's impossible because of sprites. What do you mean, like the soda? No. This sprite is like a sticker that moves around on a screen.
Nobody ever talks like this on a podcast. Humans don't talk like this over a long period of time. Like, imagine if you were talking to somebody about, I don't know, something of its gaming, and they spoke like this the entire time. Really weird, right? Exactly, it's just so strange.
Well, actually, I don't like how you are, you know, slandering our names. But did you actually know that you are gay? You see, back in like 20 years ago, the president banned gays. And then all of a sudden, a whole revolution began. And they started taking out all the senators and started replacing them with gay ones, creating a gay empire. Wow. I know, right? Like, bro, who talks like that, bro?
I don't think I've ever seen any channel do this on YouTube.
Also, everything I said was a joke.
You know what? Sure, this podcast format, it is fake, but I will give credit where credit is due. This is a unique format to do YouTube shorts in, I guess. And for that reason, I'm going to put the Built by Gamers YouTube channel over here. Hang on, I want to say B tier because that's where my gut is telling me to put them, but I don't know. I reckon that this is an A tier content farm. Yeah, A tier. There you go. I think it's time to move on from YouTube Shorts content farms though, because I swear to God, if I have to watch another one of these awful nothing burger AIDS videos, I think I'm going to have a brain hemorrhage. I'm going to move back to my long form content comfort zone. It's time to talk about death.
What?
Within the world of, well, not just YouTube, but media as a whole, a good way to get a bit of attention on your creation, be it a video, an article, stuff like that, it's to lie, especially about popular people. And by far, one of the most common things to lie about when you're making something about a popular person is to say that this person died. Tabloids have been doing this type of shit for decades, and almost every single year on Twitter, you can bet your ass that somebody called, I don't know, Femboy Lover 682, they'll post a viral tweet declaring that X celebrity has died. Ugh, guys, this is so sad he died. Leave a like and retweet, please. Lying about people's deaths for views, it's really, really slimy and weird, but yeah, I'd be lying if I told you that it wasn't a good way to attempt to get a viral post here and there. So of course there's a content farm on YouTube that lies about people's deaths. Allow me to introduce to you the YouTube channel known as Who Is Today. It used to be called Celebrama. You may have heard of it. This channel specializes in lying.
No, never heard of it.
Family and mourning. Chuck Norris said goodbye. Final goodbyes with a tearful final regret. Heartbreaking news. Tragic loss of beloved actor Jake Gyllenhaal. The sudden death of
that
TV presenter Simon Cowell
is the clickbaitiest title I've ever seen. You already know that shit's fake.
Bro,
like,
even the way the channel makes thumbnails is gross. Yep. Like, just look at this. Caskets, the black ribbon, dates, memory candles. Oh, and don't get it twisted. Don't think to yourself, well, if Who Is Today is creating elaborate lies about people dying, surely it would take some time to fully create and upload these videos, right? Because you'd be wrong again. This is a content farm we're talking about. Quantity over quality. Who Is Today? He pumps out videos about people apparently dying. He posts about 12 videos a week, all with an AI, TikTok, Am I the Arsehole Reddit voice in the background that waffles on about how some celebrity died. All jokes aside though, look, I know that in this video, all of the content farms I've been talking about, I've been doing a little bit of goofing. You know, I've been doing the funny. I've been acting silly. But when it comes to where I'm going to put Who Is Today, Celebrama, whatever the fuck they call themselves now, I'm just not. Like, I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah.
The goofing stops here. Because this YouTube channel is dog shit. I'm going to put it right here. Fuck this channel. I'm glad your videos only get 200 views. Trash.
Damn.
But here's the thing with trash. Oftentimes, to move it around, you're gonna have to put it in a bin bag. And did you know that besides storing junk in forbidden bin juices, warning, life hack incoming, you can actually do a hell of a lot of different things with a bin bag. Don't believe me? Well then, how about we go over to the next content on this list so I can prove you wrong and laugh at you. Next up, we got another content farm that I'm pretty damn sure you've heard of before. A content farm that is by far one of the most annoying channels on YouTube.
Family Guy Pipelines?
The content farm called...
That channel. 5-minute crafts. You know, I used to watch them a lot just so I can make cool stuff, and then I realized, wait a minute, this channel's bullshit. Because it is. It's absolute dog shit. Don't ever believe these motherfuckers. It's a waste of time. They do shorts? Or actual videos?
Situation, person watching this video. We just taken somebody hostage. But, oops, we've kind of sort of forgotten our zip ties at home. And the only two things we have around us are this Henry the Hoover and this bin bag. What are we going to do to make sure that our hostage doesn't escape? If you want, I'll give you 5 seconds to try to put together some brilliant solution. Like, the world really depends on it. You need to act fast.
Have you ever heard of that thing where people stick a vacuum in a trash bag with a person inside of it, and then they, like, turn on the vacuum and the person gets, like, airtight in the trash bag and they try to escape? Yeah.
We can do this. Yeah.
I knew it.
It's 5-minute crafts, a YouTube channel that posts all sorts of life
So I was talking
hacks
about.
like Using a knife to cut things. Freezing water to make ice. Twisting your fork with a pair of pliers to help cut a banana. Oh yes, as a pregnant woman myself, I did find this video very useful. You know what, I think pound for pound, 5 Minute Crafts is one of, if not the most popular content farm ever. Besides their sub count, 80 million subscribers! Unlike a channel like LankyBox, 5 Minute Crafts, it isn't really limited by niche or content genre. All of this shitty content, this is all purposely made to appeal to everybody on this planet we call home. From drooling iPad children to Facebook wine moms, at some point, all of us Homo sapiens, we've somehow, some way watched a 5 Minute Craft video all about how to make your life easier thanks to this amazing life hack that doesn't even work. 5 Minute Crafts,
I'm guilty.
Cracked the code of YouTube virality. They've won. They've just won. Hell, not even YouTube. They've just won it live. They've got God mode. They've spammed the infinite money glitch. And for that reason, there's only one place that I can put 5 Minute Crafts.
S++ tier. S plus tier.
My content farm tier list. I can only put them all the way up here. And with that, here are the final rankings. Quebblecop, S tier. LankyBox, S plus tier. Buggy Huggy, C tier. Plush Universe, A tier. Eluteminix, A tier. Game Tunes, D tier. Project Jamesify, B tier. UCB Fly, B tier. Built by Gamers, A tier. Who is Today / Celebrama, over here. 5 Minute Crafts, over here. Now look here, I know, trust me, I really do. I know that there are a whole bunch of different content farms on YouTube that I haven't spoken about in this video. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really sorry. Here's a picture of my cat. How sad I am. I'm really,
that's cute.
Sad that
you have a cute cat, bro.
Do that. But if I
Shout out
did
to your
do
cat.
that, we'd be here.
I would never get a cat. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. I just find cats really fucking too much like me. And I don't need another one of me. I want a dog. Cats are too smart. Also, they're assholes.
For a million years, so maybe I will make a sequel to this video.
Do what you will with that information.
If you enjoy it, I probably will. In the meantime, though, tell me about these content farms that I haven't spoken about in the comments in this video.
Yeah. So anyways.
Hey everybody, it's Lavender time. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys about your least favorite character designs and why you don't like them, so that I can try to respond to all of your critiques and create a version that you would like more.
Alright.
Last time I tried this, my video got swiftly
Hi, Lavender Town.
18 plus. That restriction is now lifted, so if you tried to watch the part 1 before, you can watch
Time is it? Shit.
now. Sorry about that.
I don't have to go to bed.
And just a quick disclaimer, this is not a fixing video, no disrespect to the original artist. This is just a fun thought experiment, and let's go. So first up, this character was actually requested more than any of the characters I did in the first video when I actually counted it up, so I absolutely had to do her first in this one, and that is Momo from My Hero Academia.
Oh, her? I thought she was alright.
Yeah. The main complaints about
15 to 16, and it's so badly designed, even if to accommodate her quirk. It also doesn't help that it animates slender body type from the manga. Fan service. Let's look at her again.
absolutely had to do her first in this one.
I mean, isn't her power basically omnipotent? I had a brain fart. Wasn't the character design like? Doesn't she have a quirk of being able to create anything from existence? Can she create any object or something? I don't know. The power quirk of creation or something.
From My Hero Academia. The main complaints about her is that she's used for.
Look, I had a epilepsy right there. An epilepsy, bro. That's not even. Oh my god. I had a seizure. I had a stroke.
Fan service.
Epilepsy, bro.
Even though she's a young character, and it just feels like awkward, and it's just not very good. And a lot of people also say that they just think that her design and her outfit is ugly. So we're going to try to address both of those complaints. Now, she has some plot armor for to sort of make an excuse for why she ends up in these fan servicey situations so often, and that is that her superpower is that she can create objects.
Yeah.
Any non-living object, it seems like. And in order to do that, she needs calories and she needs access to her skin because it like comes out of her skin. And so there's scenarios in the show where she needs to make something and it like explodes her outfit. You know, very predictable fan service, excuse. Anyway, so I'm going to try to work with the actual constraints of her power. I'm not going to try to like change any of that. But I'm going to try to create some outfits for her that would allow her to like live a comfortable life and fight, while still being protected from the elements and also have access to her power. So my first design idea was what I'm calling the Hot Topic solution, where she basically has a dress and it has like a million little paneled areas that have zippers.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that.
This is common in like tech wear.
Right.
Where you can just pull on it and it like quick releases and it like totally opens up any part of your outfit where the zipper is. And in addition to that, I also, because there was a specific part of the show where she has to make an insulation blanket and explodes out the back of her outfit, and like ruins her uniform. So I actually made a panel that she could pull forward on her hoodie strings, and it would pull up sort of like this trap door panel on her back.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually fire.
Would give her full access to her entire back.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have just made her back completely visible.
And then it would fall. It would be like weighted along the bottom of this panel, and so when she would let go of it, it would cover her back again so that she's not, getting blown up by villains and stuff, and she's more protected. And also, she wouldn't be in a fan service situation for the whole entire show. And then my second solution is more if I had more control over the character, I could change her like personality and the whole vibe of her. Then I would give her two sort of flowy like clothing pieces, one of which is like a capelet and one of which is like a skirt. And I would put little weights along the edges so that when she spins, it lifts up and gives her more access to wherever she needs access to.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it also look cool because then there could be like, like a magical girl, like literal excuse for her to be spinning around and, fighting in a sort of like ballet style. I just think it could add a lot of like visual difference to the usual like punching and exploding that everybody else is doing. But yeah, this is not really in line with her personality as much, so this is more if I could go more off track with her. I really do think the main reason that this character design is rubbing people the wrong way is because I think a lot of people are just really sick of the excuses when it comes to character designs.
Right.
Her boob window has very much the same feeling of like quiet breathes through her skin kind of vibe. Iwulu needs those for her flame sacks, or Power Girl needs a boob window because she has no identity and therefore she just left an open space where, Superman and Batman have like, logos and stuff. But I digress. I hope you guys enjoy how I switched up her outfit.
Yeah.
That's mainly the part
really
of
like
the
it.
design that I think people weren't liking, so I didn't do too much to her hair or her face. Next character design was heavily requested and one I didn't initially expect. But
what the fuck is this? Is this a country? Is that a continent? What is that?
When I saw the name popping up, I remembered this controversy from when this movie first came out. So this character is Sisu, the dragon from Raya the Last Dragon.
I vividly remember that. I don't know though.
Now I saw this movie once, and it didn't leave like
Never
a
saw it.
impact on me. But I remember that at the time there was a lot of talk about the way that the dragon was designed. A lot of people said that she had same face syndrome with like Elsa, and honestly, like looking close at it, I can kind of
Holy shit. I think it's just art style. If Elsa turned into a dragon, yep, that'd be her.
Her eyes definitely have that quality of sort of like a Barbie dog.
Yep.
Or in a Barbie movie, sometimes there's animals, and it kind of looks like a Barbie's eye sticker got slapped
Oh
onto
my
it.
god, that is terrifying.
I think it's like too much white around the iris, which makes it look more human rather than animal and less cute, as well as like the the full-on like false eyelashes look. And for me, the thing that kills me the most is actually the eyebrow. For some reason, this eyebrow really bothers me. It's so blatantly like human-like and not at all like any sort of fuzzy animal. So it makes the fact that her face is covered in fur really weird. I don't know, I was just getting kind of like a cat's flashback. Anyway, so Sisu.
Please don't ever show that again.
This is a type of dragon from Southeast Asia, and there's various different countries that actually like have stories and statues and stuff about Naga. And when I was looking them up, the first thing I noticed that stood out the most to me is that the design is very sharp. There's a lot of sharp points, especially around the snout, and a lot of just like it's more angular, whereas Sisu is very smooth and soft looking. And then also the colors, like I was seeing these Naga statues that had the most amazing color palette, like super bright, super intricate. And at first I was like, okay, maybe they went like way down on the intricacy of this type of creature because it's animation. And then I remembered it's 3D animation, so they can just make a model one time, or maybe 2 times if they need, different versions or something. But and it can be as detailed as they want. It's not like they're having to draw it every single time. So it definitely got me thinking about like Book of Life and like how much detail was in the characters for Book of Life, and even kind of that like wood texture. It almost made me wish that Sisu really looked like
also W movie.
But I digress. That's obviously not the direction they wanted to go. I do think they definitely could have like bumped up the color palette. I also think part of the reason people think Elsa when they look at Sisu is because of the color palette just being this like icy blue color. And I think that when you're looking at statues of Naga and also like Southeast Asian art, this like icy blue color by itself with like little lavender bits just does not remind me. I mean, maybe there's something I'm missing and I'm like totally like ignorant, but to me it just doesn't really look like it came from that area, and it doesn't remind me of the statues of this mythological creature. So I really wanted to try to put those super bright, super like eye-catching colors on a
Sorry if I'm not talking as much, I'm just watching her draw. I'm gonna be real with you. I really like her drawing.
Of like Sisu that's more true to like.
So sorry if I'm not talking and stuff.
I also of course changed the eyes so it didn't have that like.
I have ADHD.
Changed the eyebrows so that it looked more like little scales.
Right.
Rather than a penciled-in eyebrow from a makeup tutorial or something. And then I did another version of her with the same design, but I stuck to the color palette that they picked. I ended up putting some pops of like gold. Just because I was seeing so much gold in statues of Naga, even from different countries, it seems like kind of a consistent thing. So I thought that would be kind of nice alongside the icy cool colors that they picked for Sisu. So basically, there's 2 different versions, one of which is much closer to the one that they picked. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of it. Next up is a highly requested character, and that is She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, bro. What the fuck is this, bro?
From the new Disney Plus show that hasn't released yet, but that as soon as it released, its teaser trailer got sort of universally panned for the horrible looking CGI.
Yeah.
And many people saying that basically she didn't look big enough or muscular enough. There were a lot of different scenes where this was really obvious. Most, in particular to me at least, is this scene of her carrying a man, and his arm is bigger than her leg. This is kind of an example of that character design trend where a monsterized sort of male character will look like almost totally inhuman, and then the female version will be like a super hourglassy, conventionally attractive shaped kind of version that looks a lot less monstrous. It has very much that kind of vibe. So for my redrawing of She-Hulk, I'm basically just going to try to treat her the same as Bruce Banner was treated when he was designed into the Hulk. When you see the Hulk in the Avengers and stuff like that, he's noticeably bigger than, say, Thor, who is like an incredibly godly, muscular, and large man. The Hulk is way beyond that. Like, the Hulk is like a giant, right? So I feel like she needs to just be bigger in general.
Yeah.
And then on top of her much bigger height, I also feel like one of the biggest problems with her, and this is not just in the Disney Plus version, but also in the comics, is that it seems like it's hard for the artist to let go of the idea that like her waist will still be roughly just as skinny as it would have been pre-Hulk, which if you look up like the strongest women in the world, female like weightlifters and athletes, not bodybuilders necessarily because that's more cosmetic, but like actual like strong women, like physically strong women, oftentimes they are quite a bit wider than a, you know, like an actress or a model, which makes sense. They do have completely different jobs and different things are required of them. So I think that when it comes to the Hulk, who's supernaturally bulked out, you know, it doesn't make sense for her to have a super like waspish waist. Like I think she should be generally like wider everywhere. And I think it's really funny because like I think the reason that throughout the ages when people are drawing,
I really like the design. More bulky, more bigger. She looks like a Hulk. Looks like She-Hulk.
Hesitant to go this far is just because I think they think it won't be likable or attractive on a woman, but in the age of Lady Dimitrescu and you know, all I want to do is seeing you turn into a giant woman, I feel like we're culturally at a stage where a really huge She-Hulk would actually be quite popular. Just to be clear, I am aware that in both the comics and probably in the show, there is a canon explanation for why she's not as extreme looking as Bruce Banner's Hulk, and that's because she, rather than like being dropped into gamma radiation, she just got a blood transfusion from Bruce. But I think that's kind of lame, honestly. I think that if you're going to make another Hulk character, like toning way down on the Hulk characteristics and the big, really like intense parts of that character design is just, I don't know why you would do it. So
yeah, exactly. Sounds like a skill issue, an excuse.
Redesign around your guys' critique. Let me know if there's any others that are really bothering you that you would like to see.
That was a really good video. I really like that.
Another great example of this.
Okay, this.
Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town.
Hi. This will be the last video we'll watch, and then I gotta go. Alright. Cool.
And today I'm going to be talking about my biggest pet peeves when it comes to character designs.
Right. Hopefully my characters don't fall under this category, you know what I mean? You know, with Gael, Ganessa, and Ed.
This is all just my opinions and is not meant to be limiting or saying that any of these things are inherently bad, just things that really rub me the wrong way, and I thought it would be fun to talk about. This first pet peeve I have would basically, I guess, be described as giving up on the girls. Basically, it's when there's a universe where all the characters are anthropomorphized or have some other like, sort of inhuman, cool, interesting character design, and all of the male characters, they go really hardcore on it, and then the female characters, they just completely give up. A great example of this is Black Sad, which is a game.
Oh, what? No, that's crazy. Why? They look like they're from two different universes. See, I think this is just a skill issue. I don't think they're able to do this with a woman, so they just make it more humanoid, because that's basically all the artist can do. For this one, I don't know about that, but...
comic book, and in it, everyone's anthropomorphized.
Also, they have triangular tits.
But all of the girls are only really, like, they have ears attached to their head. That's basically it. It's like anime style, whereas all the guys look really anthropomorphized and very interesting, and I just think it's so sad. I also think that the way they anthropomorphize the women just feels more like the Cats movie, like it's kind of creepy, whereas I think all of the guy characters look really cool. I actually think the main character looks the weirdest, but overall I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. Another great example of this is an anime that I haven't actually seen. It's called like Seton Gakuen or something, but you can clearly see how differently they decided.
That is actually insane. What? No, that's just... Bro, that's just Beastars with real life animal furry girls.
to design the girls versus the guys. I mean, the guys are basically animals in clothes, and the girls are literally just like, you know, cattier girls or whatever. It's really strange. I think one of the reasons it really bugs me is it breaks my immersion, because basically the rules of the character designs are different for different characters, and that makes things really awkward. I guess it's like a magnified version of the fact that Goofy is a dog and Pluto is also a dog, you know?
Right.
It's like that sort of dissonance, but 100 times worse because it's visual and it's like in your face all the time.
Yeah.
I also think it bugs me a little bit just because I feel like this all comes from the fact that like the character designers weren't willing to take risks with the female character designs, and that's sad too. I know World of Warcraft has also been criticized for this a fair bit, and it is true that the female versions of some of the more like monstrous races do look a little bit more human when it comes to the girls, but I don't think it's nearly as atrocious as...
And I do not, thankfully, I do not have this issue. I can draw women in the Ugly Makeup Face universe as well as the men. I mean, you see Ganessa, right? See Ganessa. And you might say, oh, well, you know, the guys have circular normal eyes. The women have eye lines. No. No, this is a cosmetic choice. This is basically unique to Ganessa. That's her eyeliner. It's not a biological feature. If you were to take, like, her like self, she'd have circular eyes. Because this is just makeup. That's her. It's a pun. Okay, it's her eyeliner. All right. So I just wanted to get that out.
The other examples I gave earlier. This next pet peeve happens a lot in kids' movies, and I'm calling it the bait and switch. It's basically where they'll use a character design, and it'll be on the posters and all of the trailers and stuff, and then when you get to the actual movie, they've transformed these characters into a totally different looking thing, usually not even human, and just a lot simpler in general. And it feels kind of like you've been cheated out of that character design. A great example of...
Really? I've never seen that.
This is in Princess and the Frog, where of course they changed both Tiana and Naveen, both very like, I would say well designed and very like beautiful, handsome characters, and they transformed them into these frogs for the entire movie.
Bro.
Literally, I feel like we get like 15 minutes with the character designs that they were at the start. Another good example is Spies in Disguise. When I saw the character design of
Spies in Disguise.
The main
honestly,
character in Spies in Disguise, I was incredibly impressed. I thought he looked so cool. He was so sharp and angular. But when I saw in the trailer that he spends a large proportion of the movie as a pigeon, I didn't even go see it because I was so bothered by the fact that they were taking away another really interesting, cool character design. Pixar's Soul is also doing a very similar thing. The main character turns into basically this inhuman blob with like...
Well, thankfully, my characters don't do that because they don't transform.
Hat, but not his nose and lips. It just seems like they're scraping away certain aspects of these characters.
Not this, my characters.
And while transformations are not at all uncommon in like fairy tale type children's stories, usually it's not happening to the main character. Like for example, in Tangled, Rapunzel isn't even allowed to be a brunette until the very end. Like they almost never change their pretty merchandisable princess design midway through the movie. I don't know, I'm hoping this is all a coincidence, but either way, I would really rather not have more bait and switch character designs where they look really, really cool and then they end up being this like very simple, easy to animate sort of shape through the whole thing. Don't get me wrong, I love Princess and the Frog, but I really wish that we could have spent more time seeing that beautiful 2D animation on Naveen and Tiana. Next up is kind of a weird one, but this is the big old bobblehead baby syndrome. Basically, sometimes when...
The Boss Baby.
In cartoons, they
The Boss Baby.
They want the head to be really big, and that makes sense because in cartoons you want to exaggerate. But sometimes they don't compensate with the adults, and so there'll be a scene where an adult picks up a baby and the baby's head is bigger than the adult, and it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
That is absolutely terrifying.
I actually had trouble finding references of this outside of
Boss
a very
Baby.
famous instance from Boss Baby.
Yep.
Where you can see, first of all, that the brother and the baby's head are like so wildly different, and that is weird by itself because they're really not that different in age, and they shouldn't have massively different head sizes and shapes. But additionally, when you look back at their parents, who are not that far away from them, both of their heads are like extremely expanded. They're just,
well, maybe it's
giant
based on
melons,
angle.
and it's so distracting. But this happens in anime, this happens in all kinds of stuff. It's basically just a simple proportion error. This can happen a lot when you're designing your characters separate from each other, and then you put them together. These kind of like conflicts can happen, and it's so creepy. I genuinely don't think that there's any way to save this other than just like shrinking down the baby. You just have to remember that like there's no scenario in which a baby's head would be bigger than an adult's. In fact, they should remain around the same size if you want the baby to have a really like crazy big head. In real life, obviously, our heads do grow a certain amount, not as much as some people would think. I also hate when I see babies with extremely tiny heads in cartoons and stuff. If you want to be on the safe side, try to keep them around the same size or just slightly smaller on the baby, of course. Yeah, this is not a big deal, obviously, not as controversial as some of these other ones.
Yeah. Also, she said controversial. Just wanted to point that out. Yeah, also, luckily enough, I don't draw babies. So, yeah.
But
I don't face this problem.
Next up is the half-hearted, ugly character. Now, this drives me crazy, and this is not just a character design problem in, like, cartoons and stuff like that. This is a huge problem in Hollywood in general. I am so tired of seeing characters, particularly girls in, like, teen stuff, where basically like she's ugly because she wears glasses and has
like the girl from Turning Red.
I know that they're doing this so that they can have the mandatory like glow up scene later on, but it drives me so crazy when they want us to believe in a world where an objectively pretty person with her hair in like a ponytail and a sweatshirt is suddenly like this disgusting monster.
Oh, never mind. All right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. See. Alright. Let me clarify something. Ganessa right here. Would you smash or pass? If not, which you probably won't, you just answer my question. The name of the show is called Ugly Makeup Face. Ganessa's name is Ganessa Makeup Face. The name of her company is Ugly Makeup Face. Hence the name of the show. But the reason why it's called Ugly Makeup Face is because of an insult made by Ed that Ganessa interpreted it as an actual name for the company. It's a fucking joke. Basically, Ganessa's like, hey guys, what should we name our company? We should give it a name. Then Ed's like, how about Ugly Makeup Face? You know, because Guile says something like, you know, well, maybe we should name it after you know, like Ganessa Makeup Face Company or something. And then Ed's like, how about fucking Ugly Makeup Face Company? And Ganessa's like, okay, we'll go with that. Then Guile's like, wait, but that's an insult. Ed was just calling you ugly. And then Ganessa's being stupid and shit, and she's like, well, no, technically, because, you know, if Ed wanted to insult me, he would say ugly Ganessa Makeup Face. But it doesn't have my name in it. It just says ugly Makeup Face. So it's not an insult to me. And that's how the name was gotten. It's stupid, it's funny, it's goofy, and I love it.
Normal people would actively shun and...
So, it's not because of Ganessa actually being ugly, that's why it's called that. It's because of an insult that Ed made. That Ganessa interpreted as not an insult because she's stupid. So, yeah.
Like, I feel like we should be beyond this by now, and it really annoys the crap out of me, especially in stuff that's drawn.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it is, but some people are completely unwilling to draw any something ugly or anybody who's not conventionally attractive, but then they want to make their entire like webcomic or whatever about like beauty and beauty standards and stuff. And I just feel like that's super wild, because for a culture that's so obsessed with being pretty and what makes you ugly, it seems confusing that people can't seem to figure out a way to make their characters not look conventionally attractive. But yeah, I just think there's so many ways to do this right, and I just feel like people aren't willing to do it because they don't want to draw ugly characters, and that comes from the very thing that their like story is usually trying to criticize, you know. So it just seems kind of like hypocritical and strange. And again, it's just immersion breaking. Like my first pet peeve, like I'm not going to believe that someone who looks stereotypically attractive in their body type, in their face, they have clear skin, all of this stuff, is ugly just because she has like bushy brows or, I don't know, like curly hair. It's the wildest thing, and I refuse to accept it. More ugly representation, please. This next one has been the bane of my existence ever since I was an actual child.
Really?
I remember so distinctly the first time I watched Shark Tale. Now, I really liked Shark Tale, and it was one of the few movies we had in the car, and our car had a DVD player in it, so I watched it quite a bit on long car rides, and I just could not get over this fish character, because she was so, like, overtly sexual and uncomfortably so, and she had, like, eyeshadow, and she was always...
Bro, that right there, bro.
Always, like, swishing her hips around, and it just... I don't like when characters in movies are so, like, especially movies that are specifically only for children, are so, like, sexually coded and so, like, supposed to be erotic. I don't know if it's a joke or, like, what's the idea.
Okay, you see, it's required. It's a requirement. It's just a general rule of thumb for every kid's film. You have to make a very sexy character, so that way the kid develops a crush for that character, and therefore that character gets hooked to your movie, and you make more money off of said crush character, because it's their kid's crush. Like FNAF, Toy Chica, you know, one of the reasons why I'm still in the franchise is because I look up porn for the... Okay, you know, I should drop that. You know, Raven from Teen Titans, a lot of people, you know, fucking, I don't know. I didn't really have too much crushes. Isabelle from Animal Crossing, wait, I don't know.
Here, or if it's legit.
I wouldn't count her, though.
Like, supposed to be, like, really hot in this kid's movie about fish or whatever, but...
Yeah, see, that's because it's for the child to develop a crush on, so that way they can be more involved into the movie and they can make more money.
I can't...
It's a tactic, a marketing tactic. They don't tell you about. They don't tell you about that in film school.
Stand it. I can't stand these characters who are supposed to be so sultry, but they're, like, literally an animal, and, like, they don't even look like furries. They just look like a kid's cartoon character that's, like, weirdly sexy. It just feels like...
Okay, now that, if they're, like, legitimately, like, feral, like Bolt, if you were to make an overly sexualized character, like Bolt, from the movie Bolt, yeah, that'd be a little bit suspicious. Because everything I told y'all just now is thrown out the window. Because that's just trying to get people to become zoophiles when they get older. Which might actually be their plan. I'm not going to that rabbit hole. That's probably what it is. It's probably a bunch of zoophiles working at Disney trying to get kids to also be like them when they grow up, so that way they don't feel out of place.
The weird part of DeviantArt, like, just busted on into, like, an actual movie studio and was like, yeah, let's be in this movie that's literally for kids who are too young to even want to date. Like, I hate it. I know why it exists, and I understand it, but I hate it. A character by the same name, Lola Rabbit, has a similar issue.
Oh, my... Okay. nobody would have liked Space Jam as much as they do now if it wasn't for Lola Bunny and her sexy ass fucking, you know. One of the reasons why I still like Space Jam is because of Lola Bunny and her sweet ass. Tits. You cannot tell me otherwise. You know, we all do it.
I find the way they animate her and her clothes and everything to be really, like, it just feels weird and seedy.
For me, it's a little different story. Lola Bunny was so many that it also inspired a lot of people to be furries. That right there is power in of itself. And that is what's got Space Jam so much more money than it would have if not for Lola Bunny. Marketing tactic. I've been telling you this.
Yeah, and I don't like it. But again, these are all just my opinions, and honestly, none of these things are inherently bad necessarily. So if you like any of these things, please don't feel bad.
And see, okay, I get it. Alright, Ganessa has a lot of makeup and shit, but she's not trying to be sexy or anything like that. It's just that her mom gave her lipstick when she was young to signify that she was becoming a woman, and it was a very important milestone for Ganessa. Lore, you know what I mean? Eyelashes, those are natural. She actually can bleed from those. It's like a biological thing. They have blood vessels and stuff. It's weird, it's creepy, it's gross, but it's out of this world. But, yeah. Eyeliner, that's just for, because she thought it looked good.
Bad or angry at me, please. Let me know if you have anything like this that, like, annoys you in movies or cartoons or whatever, and I hope you had a fun time watching.
So let's look at the comments. My biggest design pet peeve is when they have to create the parents of a character so they just make them exactly like the character, and the mom and dad look identical. It seems like the two siblings had a kid together. Ooh. As someone with curly hair. See, Ganessa's parents look different. Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Just wanted to point that out.
My video, and I'll see you in the next.
Yeah. So, one thing that really annoys me is the hatred on glasses. I like glasses. Samson wears glasses. Mind you, they're cool looking glasses, but someone curly hair, ugly stereotype. My hair is curly. Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, guys. Ooh, wait. Let's watch this.
If you love drawing your characters until you have to draw them from a weird perspective.
Damn. They look like the fucking baby from the last video.
I have a few tips that may help. One thing that really helped me is picturing my character inside sort of a cylinder or a tube. So you want to draw two little like ovals at their feet and their head and then connect them. Once you have them inside of this little cylinder, you can go over here and start changing the perspective on the cylinder, not your character. This is a lot easier for most artists to do because it's such a simple shape. But now we have a perspective of the same cylinder, but you're looking down at it from above.
What if I really want to exaggerate it?
This makes it easier to visualize how big the feet should be, as well as how big the head should be, because you're thinking about these 3D spaces instead of just looking at the blank page and being confused. The space between the ovals also helps.
Okay, that's actually really good.
To foreshorten, like look how much shorter the area elevations is between these two.
That's a really good tip.
Once you have your messy guide, you can fill in all the details, and it's a lot easier.
Wow. Yeah. It's really cool. Nah, I'm good. So yeah, that's it for today's live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry that I didn't get to learn Blender that much, bro. It's just, you know, I didn't like Blender. I couldn't understand it. But I will try again. I will try again. Also, we're streaming tomorrow at like 5 o'clock because Ty goes to his mom's house. I already discussed this in my community page if you ever check that out. But in case you didn't, or in case you don't, we're streaming Half-Life 2 tomorrow because I've been craving to play Half-Life 2. So yeah, Ty's coming back. We're gonna have a good time. It'll be fun. There's a lot of fun that goes on here. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Half-Life 2 with Ty. And yeah. Anyways,